Yo guys, what's going on? I got some more EX2 gameplay for you guys. At the bottom, I am playing one of my absolute favorite decks that I played in a long time, and coming out in the EX2 set is going to be Gallantmon, kind of just Gallantmon Tribal, Growlmon, Guiomon, all those cards. So you see there, I'm going to start off with the new Digimon plus the Guiomon, Growlmon evolution line. I am playing against probably, arguably, the best deck in the BT8 format, which is going to be the Imperialdramon blue. So we see there, starting off with the Vmon plus the Elytramon. So not the most ideal opening turn, and then we're just going to see our opponent pass. So we are debating whether or not to bring out the Growlmon. I am actually going to choose to keep it in the breeding area. There's not really a point. I'm not going to swing or anything, and he doesn't have any Digimon on the field for me to delete. So we're just going to start by playing the Takado for a cost of 3, which has two really amazing effects. The first of which will be relevant right here. I'm going to play the Fireball, draw 2 cards. And of course, if you actually do delete something with Fireball, it turns it into a 1 cost, which is really nice. And then, of course, being able to give all of your Gallantmon / Guiomon's, Growlmon's Blitz, which is a really crazy effect. So we're actually just going to see a turn 2 Imperial combo, move out the Elytramon, going to then play the Stingmon after the Hammer Spark. They're going to go into Imperialdramon for a 0 cost, stacking our Digimon here, going to draw off the Vmon as well as the Stingmon here. So drawing some cards, going to swing for the first check, is going to hit a War Growlmon in security. So super unfortunate for the Imperial player. Didn't actually have the jamming on the Imperialdramon in that stack, since of course it was made with the Elytramon and not an X-Vmon. So going to die to security, and then we're just going to see the Vmon played for a cost of 2. So we are now most likely going to just bring out our Growlmon and then go ahead. We've got a lot of options here. We could definitely either swing with a Growlmon, we could go into a Chimeramon and play the Fireball. So Growlmon does have the, of course, on swing effect, where you get to pop something. I think it's 2,000 or lower, but if you got a Red Tamer, you can increase that cap to 4,000. So pretty good utility there. Going to go ahead, swing to security, draw a card off the Digimon, but going to die to the Elytramon in security. And of course, being able to use Takado's effect to gain that memory, putting us to 4. So plenty to work with. Going to play a second Takado for a cost of 3. And of course, we've got the Guiomon, but I'm wanting to keep that for the breeding area, so just going to play another Fireball to draw some more cards. I love that this deck has an archetype Auto Greed. It feels so good. Helps out a lot with consistency. I'm definitely going to be seeing that card a lot in the meta going forward. We're just going to see a Vmon plus a Elytramon going into the breeding area. They're going to put me to 1. Starting our turn here, gonna Digivolve our Guiomon. That Guiomon is really fantastic for, of course, the main effect being able to warp, and then being able to just draw cards off of your opponent's deleted Digimon is really awesome as well. Gonna play the tie for a cost of 4, setting up our Memory Tamer, leaving our opponent with 3, but not really committing anything to the field. We're going to see the Elytramon moved out, hitting a Gallantmon in security. Of course, going to be able to Armor Purge there to save the stack, which is really nice. Then we're going to see the Stingmon evolved onto the Vmon for a cost of 2. That is definitely never a good sign. So Imperialdramon not in the best position right now after that the death of the first Imperialdramon. So we are going to just move out the Guiomon here from the breeding area. Going to go into the Growlmon for a cost of 2, and then going to go War Growlmon for a cost of 3, putting our opponent to 2. And then of course Takado will give it Blitz. So we are going to swing into the Stingmon here, draw a card off of the Digimon, and then it's going to delete the Stingmon. And then as a result of the battle, as a result of the deletion, we're going to be able to trigger draw 1 from the Guiomon, gaining a memory off the Growlmon, and then also going to be able to suspend Takado to gain memory if we would like to. So we're going to go ahead and gain 2 memory there. Gaining a total of 3 memory was absolutely crazy. Then we're going to follow it up with the Searcher Guiomon, revealing the top 4 cards of the deck. Going to be able to grab a Growlmon / Gallant plus a Takado here. So we already got the War Growlmon, so we're going to actually just take the Gallantmon here, which is the EX2 Gallantmon. So we're really set up in a solid position. We got multiple tamers, we got 2 Digimon in field. Our opponent has got not really much to write home about, but we finally see the XVmon evolved into the breeding area there, so we can expect some shenanigans to ensue the next turn if he's got the XVmon Sting combo. Then we're just going to see the Vmon played for a cost of 3, revealing the top 3 cards and adding any Digimon with free attribute. So that's essentially the whole deck. We're just going to probably see the Stingmon added to hand, yep, and then putting the fighter mode Hammer Spark at the bottom of the deck. Of course, starting our turn with 3 because of our tie, we drew into the Crimson mode, which is definitely always a nice thing to have. Crimson mode is just one of the absolute craziest game finishers we have gotten in the game so far. I absolutely love it. To go ahead, evolve the Guillaumon there, and then go into Gallantmon for a cost of 4. Gallantmon will get Blitz because of Decado, drawing a card off the Gigimon, and then choosing any number of Digimon to delete. So we're going to pop the Vmon there, gaining the 3 memory, once again 1 off the Growlmon, and then 2 off the Decados, drawing a card, and then triggering Sec Attack plus 1 from the War Growl, so checking a total of 3 cards at 14,000, since randomly the EX2 Gallantmon there just gets plus 2,000 during your turn. So it's just a 14,000 like base Digimon, which is pretty crazy. So we're going to actually just sit at 2 and then put our opponent to 1 by playing a Guillaumon. So I think that was a pretty safe play. Realistically, the only thing he can do to threaten us is like a double Hammer Spark Imperialdramon combo, but even then he would need like another, he'd need like HPD or something and make another DNA monster to be able to game us. So we are actually going to see the double Hammer Spark after the XVmon swing, playing the Stingmon for a cost of 3, and then of course DNA digivolving them, but not actually into Imperialdramon. We are going to see the Dino be evolved for a cost of 0, suspending quote unquote the Gallantmon, and then freezing it, of course, since the chosen target was the Gallantmon, and then going to swing into security, does have jamming, and then drawing some cards, I believe, off of the Upamon plus the Stingmon there. So in a pretty solid position. Then he's just going to Ice Wall to wrap it up. But honestly, we don't even need, like, we literally need 1 swing. So we're just going to go ahead and go into probably just start swinging, like, unless it's a Hammer Spark, it's not really going to be anything consequential. So we're just going to swing with the Promo Guillaumon, draw a card, lose 2 memory, and it is not going to be Hammer Spark, and we're just going to be able to swing a 4 game. So that is going to be game 1 versus Imperial. Game 2, our opponent will definitely start seeing a pretty decent stack of the draw, the Star Deck Vmon plus the EX Vmon. They're putting us to 2, hatching, not starting off with the best evolution line, but we do got the rookie, so we're going to go ahead, go into a Guillaumon, and then probably just play a Decado for a cost of 3, because I definitely want to save the fireballs for when he's got some stuff on field. I could have definitely used to draw as well, because we've got the Greymon, but we don't have an ultimate to be able to you know, take advantage of the Gallantmons in our hand quite yet. So our opponent's just going to play the Vmon, leaving us with 2 memory. We are actually just going to Digivolve the Greymon in the breeding area for a cost 2, and then playing the Fireball to delete the Vmon here, and then suspending Decado on deletion to gain the memory back, putting our opponent to 1, and then just kind of having this stalemate here where we both got the champions in the breeding area. None of us wants to promote, but our opponent will definitely promote, swing with the XVmon here, drawing a card off the Vmon inherited, and then just playing a Vmon for a cost of 3, revealing some cards, and then adding any free Digimon. So we see the Imperialdramon, Lydramon plus Stingmon, most likely going to grab the Stingmon to set up for a Jogress play the following turn, but I probably am not going to let him do that because that would be very, very detrimental to me. So we're going to, I want to say just Fireball or maybe Red Memory Boost or something. I feel like we can't leave that XVmon on field, so it might be worth it just to move the Greymon up, hopefully draw into like a War Growlmon and then blitz over his field. We're actually just going to play the Fireball for a cost of 1, deleting the second rookie, and then playing the Red Memory Boost, so I do at least save myself 1 security there. We are going to finally see the War Growlmon, adding that to the hand. In the next turn, we will definitely have enough memory to be able to clear the board and go into the Gallantmon. But putting our opponent to 2, he would need a Hammer Spark plus the Imperialdramon to be able to do his combo, which is totally fine. I'm fine like letting him do his Imperialdramon combo. He's checking 3 cards, but I will be able to blow up his board, establish a Gallantmon, and then possibly finish it out with a Crimson mode in the following turn. So we are going to see the XVmon swing, and of course, speaking of the devil, we see the Gallantmon Crimson mode in security, Hammer Spark into Stingmon, and then going to the Imperialdramon combo here. Bread and butter play here, and then of course we now do have the jamming, so it doesn't matter really what the Imperialdramon hits in security. Gonna draw some more cards off of the inherited effects, hitting a Caramairamon, and then swinging once again into security, hitting a Greymon, putting me down to 1 security, so of course a really dire situation here. And then we're going to follow up with the Imperialdramon play, evolving for 4, and then getting to play any blue-green level 4 combo from amongst those. So we're going to spit back out the rookies, putting me to 4 memory. So a really tough one to be able to break out of. But the thing I love about the Gallantmon deck is that the standard Imperial board is very easily cleared by the Gallantmon deck if you have the setup, which we definitely do. So we'll be able to go into the War Growlmon for a cost of 3, and then we are probably going to pop the memory boost so that we can put our opponent to as little memory as possible. So going to go to 3 here, and then going to go into the Gallantmon for a cost of 4, of course, because of Decado. He will have Blitz, and then plus 2,000 is sitting at 14,000. So we'll be able to swing into the Imperialdramon, draw a card off the Digimon, and then pop the 2 champions, since the level, since the DP cap increases by 2,000 if you got a red tamer. So we are going to be able to delete a total of 9,000 actually, since we got the War Growlmon inherited as well, and then going to just end it at that, because I'm thinking I probably don't want to suspend the Decado to like suspend it, put my opponent to, or put us to 0, and then play like a rookie or something. I think I just want to leave it at 1 so that my opponent, so I can choke my opponent and let him do as little as possible during this turn, because if he has like a Hammer Spark plus a Vmon, like a Stingmon play or something, I'm definitely be in for it. But we're just going to see the Vmon swing. And then going to play the Davis, and then it is going to be my turn, starting with 3, unsuspending the Gallantmon, of course. And then since we've got Crimson mode, recall that for every 10 cards in trash, Crimson mode trashes when like swinging, you get to trash an additional card. So at base, trashes 1. If your opponent's got 10 cards in trash, it trashes 2, etc. And it just gets more and more powerful the later you go on in the game. So we are actually just going to go Gallantmon and then evolve Crimson mode for a cost of 6, deleting all of my opponent's Digimon with the highest DP, and then Decado will Blitz. And since our opponent has, I think there was like 11 cards or something there, we are actually just going to trigger the inheritance here and then draw a card, and then trashing the top 2 cards of the security stack, and then checking 2, because we also have the security attack plus 1 Greymon, checking 2 for 5,000 or for 15,000 rather, and basically just being able to blow out 4 cards from our opponent's security, bypassing security fets, etc. Now, we were definitely in a pinch here if our opponent had a hybrid, but luckily for us, he did not. So we are actually going to live 1 more turn, and if he does not out this Crimson mode, I basically don't need anything else to go for game. That's the really cool thing about this deck, is that you honestly like don't need hybrids half the time, or like Chimeramon's or anything, because your Crimson mode just like one-shots them by trashing security and attacking directly for game. It's really satisfying to be able to pull off. So we are going to just see the Vmon played for a cost of 3, revealing the top 3, grabbing an X Vmon there. But like I said, unless he Mega Deaths or something, which even if he does, he'd be putting me at 5. There's not really anything he can do here, so we are just going to see the Vmon played for a cost of 3, and then a Stingmon played for a cost of 3 as well. But we are able to just swing for Gallantmon Crimson mode for game, since it trashed the last security. But guys, that is going to be the game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this Gallantmon showcase and kind of how strong the deck can be. But let me know what you think down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.